Alright, we are live. It is it is Tuesday. I don't know what day it is. It is Tuesday. It is needle felting day at the moment. And I was gonna start earlier, but we had no internet when we woke up, and we're like, we thought it was the router, so we're reconnecting all of the cables and everything, and I'm like, well, it says your cable's connected now, but it's still saying we don't have any internet. The husband's like, I know, I'm working on it. I'm like, alright, I'm just telling you what it said when I walked by. Um, and he's trying everything and nothing was working. And then he finally went to um, our internet provider's website and saw some kind of, or he tried to report the problem or tried to call to report the problem. And he got an automated response of there's currently a system-wide outage. And I'm like, oh. I was like, great. And there's no ETA on when it was going to be fixed. I'm like, even better. Even better. And then, like, 2 minutes later, it came up. So I was like, oh, alright. Tell you, I did not want to get up this morning. I was so tired. I don't know if it's just the allergy situation, if it's just the stress of the mother-in-law being here and routines being disrupted. I don't know, man. Oh, and husband just got back from the store. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so tired. But yay. Alright, so we are just kind of working our way through on this guy. I might need it. Well, I don't know. My mat isn't completely flat. I've got some dips and valleys starting to appear. It's still usable. Don't get me wrong, it's still very usable. But I might have to think about budgeting for another one sometime this year. We'll see. Keep an eye on it. It's not like the other one that started forming like a dome in the middle of it. We will see how things go. Had a loose fuzz over there. So I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday so far. Tell you, it got chilly again. But I think either tomorrow or Thursday it's supposed to be back up in the 80s, which is crazy for March. Like, this is more typical March weather. It kind of feels like stuff's like happening a month too soon. It's still incredibly windy here. Although it seems to be fairly windy a lot of the time. And we're back under a burn ban. We'll see who actually pays attention to it. Never know around here. Some people think that rules don't apply to them. Which is terribly frustrating at times. Pop that guy up. Alright, so we're not looking too bad. It's going to take a little bit of time to fill in around all of this. To where we are good. And we've got everybody looking happy here. So for anybody that might be new to me doing needle felting, I actually use acrylic yarn. Traditionally, most people use some form of roving, like wool roving, but I don't necessarily have a wool allergy. It is an alternative for people that do. But the acrylic yarn it's better for my budget, in all honesty, for the amount that I get. For what I spend. It's just a lot more budget friendly. It does take some more time to work with. As in prep time. Because it comes in its skeins that you see in the store or online, like you would be ready to knit or crochet with it. Obviously this does not look like the yarn that you get right off the shelf. So you have to cut some lengths of it and then brush it out with a I think it's a sticker or a slicker, I can't really remember, it might be sticker brush. There's these little angled metal teeth in there, and you brush it out and it unplies the yarn, untwists it, and then it turns into this, and then you can needle felt with that. So it does involve a little bit of prep, and that prep can take a little bit of time depending on how many colors you are working with. I have so many colors now that I just either, as the bag, as my like, I keep bags of it ready to go, and ready to fluff with, of all of the colors I have. So as a color starts to run out, in its prep bag, or as I get a new color, or if I've got a lot of colors that I just haven't had the time to deal with, I will make the time. I'll take like a few days and go through every single color that I have and refill all the bags. That took me about a week. But it wasn't like I was working on it all day. I had other stuff going on during the day, so it wasn't like it was a week of doing that non-stop for like 8 hours a day. No, I had other stuff going on. Might have actually been closer to 2 weeks, because I'd only be able to do it for like an hour and a half at night once I was done doing everything else that I was dealing with. So let's get all of that worked in there. Now, it doesn't need to be like the exact placement as it is in the photo. So don't worry about that quite so much. All right. And I am going to overlap colors a bit. And bits of fluff. You don't have to make the little fluffy snakes. I just do because I find it's a little bit easier for me to work with that way. Most people just pull a piece out and lay it down. I've done that before. I don't know, I just prefer doing it this way. I probably wouldn't have as many weird seams if I did it the other way. But once I get stuck doing something a certain way, it's kind of hard to stop myself from doing it that way. But this color definitely needs the multiple layers of it, just because of how light it is and how dark my base color is. So if I still see the base color shining through in spots, and I know it's not very thick on there, and I will try to add a bit more. All right. So this color, it's going to take us a good little bit here to get this filled in, because this is a larger section here of this color that we are working with here. So like I could take some of this and just like lay it down without doing anything to it. Like that is an option. I find it feels like it takes longer to lay it down that way to get it worked in here. Could just be me thinking that. These are finger protectors to try to lessen any potential stabbing injury. I have stabbed through these, so it's not a complete failsafe. But the injury with these on has been more like a prick with a needle, like if you were sewing. It hasn't been anything too disastrous. I would hate to see what would happen without them on. So I do recommend the safety gear. 100%. And I actually it's gonna be a busy summer because I need to work on Christmas gifts. Christmas gifts this year are going to be embroidery. Oh, I have to sneeze. Oh no. Oh, oh, excuse me. Oh, I did not do any allergy medicine today. So, it's gonna be interesting. I might have to break down and take some. Hopefully, I won't have to, but whew. The sinuses were full when I woke up. And that was not a fun time. See, I just feel like it attaches a lot faster when I do the little fuzzy wraps. Again, apologies if there's some weird high-pitched voice in the background coming through on the microphone. I'm not sure if it is getting picked up or not. I never know what these microphones are gonna decide to pick up, but if it's getting picked up under my voice, I am sorry. Because the mother-in-law doesn't seem to understand to keep her voice to normal volume when she's right outside her door, messing with the animals, and I can hear her. And it's very loud. Because I have music playing in my ears and I can hear her over top of it. So when we switch stream times, hopefully that won't be an issue. What's going on?
Nothing.
Well, I could hear your mom, so I didn't know what was going on.
Nothing. I got her some peeps, and I gave her a little impromptu Easter egg hunt because she is a large child. But made her happy. I'm gonna go clear some shit outside.
Don't forget the litter boxes. I don't know, I think it lays down better this way. But, that is me. I'm surprised you're doing that with it looking like it's gonna rain.
Just gonna get a little bit done.
Where at?
To the side of the guinea pig cage, and there's a couple things I have to actually, like, chainsaw cut down over, behind the house. I'm just getting that stuff real quick.
To the side of the guinea pig cage.
I'm sorry, in the guinea pig, dump area.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Misspoke. Was distracted trying to find the hole in the glove.
Your glove has a hole?
I'm grabbing a couple gloves because I had to oil the chain for the little chainsaw. So now I'm going to be taking it out of the oil.
Okay.
Don't want to go through hell trying to wash my hands.
But you said there was a hole in the glove.
Like for my thumb.
Oh. You made it sound like there was an
Yeah.
actual hole. Alright, so we are going to work this in. All around in here. And get all of this popped in here. When is... Okay. So not next Sunday, but the following. Alright. I wasn't sure when Easter was. Like, I knew it was the 5th, but I wasn't sure how far out the 5th actually was. April 5th, we won't be doing a stream because I'm going to be busy dealing with making dinner and cooking. And all of that. And so since I'm going to have to keep checking on the food and keeping people out from underfoot, then I'm not really going to be able to focus on the stream. So just a heads up, we won't be streaming that day. And stream days will be changing when we go to the new schedule. Oh, that cat's a happy nibbler.
Yeah.
Because when I was rubbing them, they like were biting my sweatshirt. I was like, oh, okay.
Be careful then.
Yeah. Another cat has shown up recently. And then we realized there's a second one that looks very similar to it. And we thought it was the same cat. And it explains why the one cat, well, they would sometimes run away from us. And the other times they did not. So that was fascinating. Considering all this time we thought it was one cat. No, there's a second one. There's like, so there's the outdoor cat Mimi that's not ours, but seems to think she visits an awful lot to the point where she thinks she lives here. I guess we're like her vacation home. There's this new white and gray cat. There's a big old rough looking orange cat that we can't get near. Keeps trying to cause fights with Mimi. There's this and now there's this one that looks similar to this gray and white cat that we can't tell if it's dark, if it's like black and white spots, or if it's gray and white, because we've only ever seen it at night. And I'm like, cat distribution system, stop, slow down. There's no more room. Like, I don't mind putting a little thing of food outside, but they can't come in. We are full. It's just not gonna happen. And of course, now that he's outside, his mom has to be outside and all up in his business. And I have no idea where Bean is, but everybody seems to just be coming and going out these doors with careless abandon without keeping an eye out for the cat. Oh, really? Oh, well, it's officially a stream today. Alrighty, post that, do that. Okay. I forgot to do my icons. Okay. So I got a little bit more work done on the mother-in-law's Mother's Day gift last night, and I kind of hit a small roadblock with the one gem that I was like, oh well, I'll just put it back with super glue then. And So I have to figure out how to cover the little bit of seepage on the super glue that happened out from underneath the gem. Because I'm like, oh no, how do I cover this? I might have a way of covering it. Like there's white fabric showing underneath of it, so that's where I'm like, well, this is a problem. Just a little bit. Yeah, I much prefer my little fluffy snake method, because this way just feels like it takes forever to attach here. Technically supposed to be straight up and down. If you do it at a slight angle, you can kind of reposition things. Alright, just a little bit of water. I know I keep coming back to the same spot here, but I've still got some gray hanging out here. Trying to get that covered up here as much as I can. And I'm gonna have one more color kind of ringing the sun area a bit here. But I still want to make sure that I've got that area pretty well filled in here. Just so I don't have to worry about making sure that this other color is gonna cover all of the previous layers blank spots. It's just really gonna come down to personal preference. As with, you know, most things. Stab it till you're happy, I suppose. As long as you remember to pull up off your mat. Then it should be good to go. But, you know, we'll see how far we get here. So the other one, I guess it was a little more pink hanging down in this spot. Like this could have been like a little bit like thinner maybe, but my brain decided it was going to be that much sky in there. Hmm. Sorry, OBS changed a thing and then I was just had the thought about it. It's showing me what I can hear in my ears and what I can't, and I'm like, well, wait, Stream Elements wasn't showing as being able to be heard in my ears, and then I don't see it on the thing at all, and I'm like, interesting. Alright, do I want to keep going this way, or do I want to go up here? No, maybe we should keep going this way for now. Just so that we can keep going there. Hold on a second, you guys. I'm gonna need a minute. I'll be right back. I had to take the dog out.
Look at me.
Sorry about that. Because you can't get him excited about going outside and then not do it. Because then he sits there and gives you an attitude until he gets what he wants. The one neighbor was outside briefly on her way out somewhere. And she had asked the husband to do something. So the dog heard her outside. And he likes our neighbor. And he wanted to go visit with her. But she was long gone by the time he got out there. And then he just wanted to be nosy about what the husband was doing. Suzu, go with Daddy. I may have to swap the stream sooner than I wanted to. Since she's here. We will see. I will let you guys know if I have to. And again, sorry for the constant interruptions. Now I'm mad about the constant interruptions. Alright, so we're gonna keep working on our pale orangey color here. When I get done with this one, I have plans on doing a tissue paper version of it. Because I want to. I've got the tissue paper. I really need to use that stuff up. So why not? You know? Why not? Okay. It still looks a little bit light right in there. I don't know if I just keep crossing thin sections. Or what is happening there? The gray base is strong in that spot, I guess. I guess. I don't know. Oh. So I'm just gonna kind of start filling in this side. Trying to fill in around our sun shape here. Or at least that's what we're trying to do. Don't know how successful we're gonna be, but we're certainly giving it a go. And I know that these larger ones aren't as fast as the teeny tiny magnets we were doing. I mean, I could have tried to do this in magnet form, I suppose. That probably would have been fine, but I wanted to take a break from working so tiny. Because working tiny can be kind of tough. Sometimes it's a little more frustrating to work tiny, depending on the medium. I will add that little asterisk on there, depending on the medium. I have an easier time with the needle felting when it's a little bit bigger. The only downside is that it takes a little bit longer. Well, depending on the size, it can take quite a bit longer. Also depending on how much time I have to work on it. Because this stuff that I do on stream, I mostly do on stream. I don't really work on it too much off of stream. Alright. Even when I go to switch the stream schedule, I'm probably going to be fighting with Zuzu for a while, because with him, if I'm not in bed by a certain time, he gets mad. And then he keeps coming over every 30 seconds to 5 minutes. And like, we're going to bed. We're going to bed. I want to go to bed. I'm like, so go to bed, buddy. No, no, you need to be in bed. It's like, so there might be some constant battles with him. Because he's either trying to get me to take him to the mother-in-law's room and let him in, and she doesn't want to sleep with him at night in her bed because her bed's not that big and he takes up a lot of room and he's very hot to sleep with. But that's where he wants to be throughout the day. But it should be just a couple more weeks and then I can flip the stream schedule on over. Alright. I don't know if Bean is going to be left to run amok all day when we go to the zoo, or if we're gonna have him chilling in his room. Yeah, I mean, we still got quite a bit of gray poking through there, although it wasn't a very thick bit that I had popped in there. Alright. So I'm just filling in and then filling in the spots that I can see the base felt through. The lighter colors, it can be a little tricky to get them filled in without any of the base fabric kind of shining on up through. Yeah, a little tricky. Just need some patience, which we have been running very short on lately. At least the dog did pee when I took him out, but then when I was trying to grab the leash stuff, the big clunky retractable leash holder fell, hit the water bowl, went everywhere. So then I was even more mad, or frustrated at the very least. So that was something else I had to deal with. And I have no idea where the husband went. Just trying to get our recycling out this morning, since I can actually put it on the curb tonight, because it's not supposed to be any kind of severe weather, and only managed to get about maybe half of it out. Maybe 2/3, because I had to put the stuff out that my mom had accumulating. And my 2 plastic buckets are full. I'm like, no. Great. I have a backlog that I have to work through. I only have 2 bins for plastic, because they still have us separate everything. Alright. So that's pretty thin. Gonna lay it in here. Still kind of feels a little thin in that spot specifically, even though I've gone over it multiple times. So I might have to do one more piece in there. I mean, I can understand why it's a little bit thin. I don't have this rolled all that tightly. So I was getting the weird seamy bits happening between each patch down on the other side. So I was like, well, maybe we don't roll it as tightly, but now it's being a little splotchy in spots now. Okay. We're just gonna keep on stabbing. And you can kind of see how the fiber is getting pulled from the needle going in there. That's why a lot of times I'll have my finger resting on the extra, just so I don't lose too much of it going into one area. So I'm ready for that excess, there we go, to get pulled in. Okay, I know that's not fully tapped in there yet. But I think we're okay. We're gonna have more coming in on top of it here, right? So let me take a look here. Yeah, that's definitely some thinner spots in there. Sometimes I will flip this sideways, upside down, any which way that I need to try to see how we're getting along here, and so I can see what I'm doing. It's one thing I think we get caught up in being afraid to do. Like, it's totally fine. And sometimes it can help you see stuff that you want to change. Okay. So I think I'm still gonna need a little bit more in there. This color is just being real stubborn. Or maybe it's just, you know, the fact that I don't have it super thick in there. If I do a tighter bit of fluff, it'll probably cover up a lot faster. Then I might need to do a looser bit again on top of it. Just to make sure I don't have any weird like outlines of the piece that I just put down coming on through, which happens with how I do it. Oh, did he end up going in with your mom?
Yeah.
You brought everything in from outside, right?
Yep.
So you don't put the oil directly on the chain, you have to soak the chain?
It's something you're supposed to do periodically, and I hadn't done it in years, so.
How long have you had that handsaw?
Been a couple years.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, for some reason, my brain thought that you had the big chainsaw out. Oh. So, yeah, no, it's still a little thin in that one spot. That's kind of frustrating. Even though we made it a little bit thicker. It's just being so stubborn in there. Well, I mean, I do have that other color, so we'll see how that decides to fill it in. Alright. So this spot for sure needs some filling in. So, I mean, we're kind of making headway. Kind of. Alright. So just gonna have to keep on layering it, I suppose. Since this color just wants to fight us every step of the way here. Alright. So I might need to add a little bit. Sorry, I heard a noise. I had to check on Snuffles. The noise could have potentially been her. Get all of this worked in. And it was a slightly bigger piece, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get that worked in there. Go ahead and I'm just gonna kind of lightly brush that down. Oh my goodness. I get a drink and then my ears start itching. Blah. 61 and feels like 59 out there. I don't know. I think it felt a little chillier than that, but alright. A little bit of water. Not much. You don't want this saturated. We just want enough friction on the hand to be able to try to shape it a little bit. And I do want to sort of drape this over the pink. I don't want it draped too far over the pink though. I want it just barely there. Kind of maybe take that up a little bit more. So like as I said, if you come in on an angle, you can kind of nudge the fiber a bit. If you really need to. So this color is called Orange Peach. Or Peach Orange. I might have dyslexic the words on that and flipped them in their order. Because when I was first putting the colors together, I accidentally got two balls of this color. And I think it's because I read the color backwards. And was like, oh, well, there's orange peach and there's peach orange. But then I realized when I was bagging the colors, because I was putting the barcode in there and had the color number. So when I was looking up the color number, I'm like, wait, this is the same color. Why did I end up with two of these? And I was the one that put the order in. So I was like, oh, dang it. But I have another skein of this, so I guess that's something. Okay. Gently. Always want to be gentle when you're peeling up, just so you don't damage your mat underneath in case it's being a little extra resistant to lifting up. I guess is the best word to use there. I mean, if you just like go at it hardcore and just go boom, you might mess up the mat. So if it's being difficult lifting in one way, try a different direction. Either try it towards you or away from you or this way or that way. Just be gentle. Like, you might have to put a little bit of force into it, but gentle force, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. Because I've had them really fight me pulling up in one direction, and then I change the direction, and then it just peels right up. So just gonna work on getting this piece kind of popped into here. Okay. Get all of that. As best as we can. Alright, so that looks fairly good there. I might do one more little bit there on the very edge. Probably time to turn that a bit. It has been so dry. There was a few showers in the area, but we didn't get any of it earlier, which is a pity. Because we really definitely needed it. We just can't seem to get enough rain. Looks like there's a chance of rain on Friday. I'm not sure if that's this Friday or next Friday. I certainly hope it's this Friday. Because it's just been such a dry winter. We only had really the one snowstorm that we weren't here for. And that's not really gonna do much. Considering it was a fairly dry fall, too. And our humidity has been so low. But they definitely don't mess around with the burn bans. They've got signs up. I saw one in one spot when we were walking last night that I didn't expect to see one because I didn't know that they had a spot to put one there. I'd only ever seen the one burn ban sign. Not really on the edge of town, but I guess in sort of a higher traffic area, I guess we can call it. Let's see about getting this guy. Worked into there. I'm okay with a little bit of overhang. I can trim that. That part is fine. Plus, we're gonna have the frame put on there. So the edges might be slightly short because this length is about the length of the piece that it is being mounted on. So by the time we get done, once we get done putting all of the fluff on here, it might be a little bit shorter. We didn't have a whole lot of wiggle room here today. Like, even at least with the 5x5s, I had enough of a border going around it. So the only wiggle room I really have is on the top and the bottom. But I'm hoping if it is slightly short, that the frame that we're gonna whip together should take care of that. Okay. Almost there on this spot. Okay. Yeah, so again, we're gonna just gently, see it's being a little stuck on there, so we're gonna rip it this way. See, it came up a lot easier going in that direction. It just happens that way sometimes. Get just the tiniest amount of water, just to give you enough friction on your hand if you're going to shape it. Like I demonstrated earlier, you don't necessarily have to do the shaping. Just, I find it helps sometimes. So, still a little thin in this area. And it's probably still going to be a little bit thin in that spot. I'm going to need a little bit more in there. Just a minute. All right, sorry about that. Okay. We are gonna keep on stabbing here. I know it's not the most exciting thing, but it can be as it starts to come together. I do need to get some more little known galaxy recorded. I'm not, like, I have a little bit extra to work through. Don't have a whole lot though. Don't have as much as I thought I did. Like, technically it's scheduled out into the end of May, but that's not really accurate because as live streams have been missed, I've had to bump up extra, and since we went away, I haven't really had a backlog of live streams to go up, so I've had to blow through a lot of it. So, I'm having to do 3 episodes of Little Known Galaxy to, in between the live streams lately. Because I need, like, a day's buffer between the live stream happening and it going up on the YouTube channel. Speaking of, if you are watching on the YouTube channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. To help out the channel over there. Haven't done a live stream on the YouTube channel because we are monetized over here. So I'm not sure what going live over there would involve, since all of my stuff is kind of calibrated for Twitch at the moment. And I know some people will live stream multi-platform. I don't think my computer would like that very much. So, yeah, we won't do that. It might start screaming in agony, and this thing wasn't really built for multi-platform stream, so I don't want to melt anything or burn out anything, so we'll just stick with being live over here for now, because that's what's gonna work. All right, got a little bit more on this bit of fluff that I still need to attach. Okay. Now, still kind of looks like I've got. You okay?
You want mute for a second?
Okay, sorry about that. When does that go into effect?
I don't know, but it just hit the news cycle.
Where are you getting it from?
Amazon. I'm gonna read up on this real quick.
I mean, it's not a bad idea to have an extra, honestly. Well, like, it still seems kind of thin right there, but... Alright, so... Just trying to make sure that we are in frame here. And just trying to make sure that I can get that edge covered up. That sounded like Littles and Cow being angry, or Littles and somebody being angry because Bean's on the bed. No, don't delay too long, because
I already ordered it.
I can see a world where that sells out within like 2 hours.
Yep. This just hit news cycle.
Give me 1 second, you guys.
I didn't get it.
Alright, sorry guys. Husband had to inform me of some world news issue that was going off that, or national news issue, I guess, that was going off that we needed to make a decision about something. So, Snuffles! Okay. So let's see, that's still a little bit of a thin spot in there. So I definitely want to see about filling that spot in. So is this all because that one company got hacked or whatever?
Yes, one. Well, okay.
That one medical
No,
machine company?
no. There was a router company,
Okay.
and again, it got compromised, like possibly based on how it was designed, which is how it works, but whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so they're using that as justification, just like they use that to justify banning drones that aren't made in the U.S.
So just ban that particular one.
Yeah. Well, you see, that's logic.
Ugh.
That's logic here.
Or, you know, make the company put out a fix for it, or, you know, put out a warning if you have that one, you need increased cybersecurity. Like, fucking dumb shit. Ugh. Dumbest thing ever. To do this when there's no plan in place. I'm exhausted. My brain needs logic and predictability, and lately, from all sides, up, down, sideways, diagonal, I haven't been able to have that, and ugh, it's exhausting. Absolutely exhausting to deal with. Alright. Sorry, we just had to order a backup router because of something that just hit the news cycle, so let's get that now. Oy vey. Alright, so let me get this section. Oh, let's see, can I... Alright. That pulled up through there pretty good. Okay. Like, I still just, it feels splotchy with this color. I'm not real happy about the splotchy, but same time, not a whole lot I can do except just keep adding more of it. But if it's not improving with more being added, I might just have to cope with it. I might just leave it be at this point. There's gonna be other stuff coming in on top of it. So provided that that doesn't make it worse. And it's not like super thin. Probably okay. Alright. So we'll get this guy kind of filled in here. So I'm just kind of going around the edge of my sun. So I don't want to lose the basic shape of it. That is definitely thin there, for sure. But I knew that that piece was a little bit thin there to begin with when I laid that down. And we've made a little bit of progress, right? It just takes some time. And that's all. Okay, that could be a little bit more attached there, but I'm gonna add a bit more on top of that, so that's fine. Okay. Now I do have another color that I'm going to be ringing around the sun. We're not there yet. Just not there yet. Gotta get this color in first. Before we can really start getting in there and messing with the next one. Baby steps. Just some baby steps. Now I'm kind of more of the little bits at a time kind of school of doing things. I'm sure that there's others out there that are just like, just slap it all up. And that's fine if you just want to go from like 0 to 100 right away, then that's how you want to do it. I kind of prefer the more slow build up personally, because I find it's easier to make adjustments that way. Oh my goodness, this dog is snoring so loud. Sounds like a person over there. My goodness. I need to change how I'm sitting. I still have the board blocking all of my wires under my desk. So I used to like stretch my feet out and push against the metal bar that would connect part of my desk, or I would push against the wall itself with my feet. So it gave me like the stretchy pressure that my legs crave sometimes. And I haven't been able to do that since I had to put this board up, this piece of foam board, to keep Bean from trying to get in tangled in all of my wires. Because it's quite the mess of cables back there. I would try to do a bit better job on cable management if I wasn't constantly having to adjust things and move things. And right now it's just kind of a jumbled mess. When we moved everything, I really wanted everything kind of like zip tied together in a more cohesive bundle, but due to certain cable lengths and stuff, that wasn't really going to work out so well. I really need a slightly longer cable on this overhead camera. But I'm afraid to change the cord on this camera because it's given me so much trouble getting it to cooperate at times, that now I'm like, it's working, I don't want to touch it. Kind of sort of situation. So we're gonna just tap everything into here as best as we can. And Susie, buddy, we're not going till after dinner. You need to go lay down, guy. Not till after Denny's. Kind of sounded like there was a rain shower happening with the way that truck went by. I guess it was just a particularly hissy sounding truck. Okay. So, have a little bit more. Actually, we have a lot more to fill in on both sides of this. I was kind of working on that side, and then I kind of was like, well, let's fill in under here, and then we just kind of kept going in this direction. Okay. So, got a little bit more here that I would like to get tapped in before we grab another piece. There's going to be some sirens possibly audible in a minute. Depends on if they go directly past the house or not. I'm gonna have to fluff more of this color, I think. I did not anticipate blowing through quite this much of it. Alright. So let's move back here a little bit further. And we'll start working all of this in. Alright. We'll get this guy. As worked in as possible. Like, I feel like I had to really layer this in on the other end. What's up?
No, it's like my mother know about why a fucking $100 router showed up on the fucking work.
So she can still see that even though,
As far as I can tell.
like, I thought you put it under our name entirely. So I'm kind of disturbed that she can still see the order history on that.
Well, she's logged into it, so she can see the history either way.
Well, I thought she was getting messages about stuff ordered. Did she ever find out about Easter?
She's gonna have it with my aunt out back.
She's certain.
Yes.
I'm surprised they're not going to someone's.
I don't know. I don't know what those someones might be doing. You know, if they're having an Easter thing this year.
And she doesn't know when she's heading back to New Hampshire yet?
Nope.
So has this property even sold yet, or she hasn't put it up yet?
She hadn't put it up yet. That's one of the reasons she needs to go up there, is because she has to deal with it.
Okay. Alright. So, I mean, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. Maybe it's just the way the light is hitting it. Like, yeah, over here is very stiff because of the amount of fluff that we've got in there. So we're gonna add. Susie, why are you out here? Why aren't you with Grammy? We're not going nowhere this afternoon, and we're going after dinner. But it's supposed to clear up later. Okay. Probably gonna need another little piece. Like right in here. Sorry, it felt like I wasn't in frame, so that's why I kind of adjusted everything up a little bit. Okay, so we've got this bit here. So you can see as I'm stabbing here, this section of felt was pulling into it. That was kind of fun to watch, but at the same time it's like, no, don't shrink in that direction, please. Like, I need you to not do that. Okay. That is particularly splotchy over here. So I know what I need to do. At some point here. I have no idea where this color even is. It could be in either container. So I'm just kind of trying to get this worked in down in here. Because it is a little, like this whole color's been a little light dark with how it's been going in. Just kind of trying to fill this in a little bit more. Because the large patches of the base gray here that I can see are driving me crazy. Camera's probably not really picking it up that well. But really the only way to deal with that is going to be thicker fluff bits coming in here. So I definitely got my work cut out for me with this one. This was originally going to be like a dark teal base felt, so I am glad I changed my mind and grabbed a gray. Because I can only imagine how tough that would have been. At least this particular shade of gray I can kind of pass off as maybe some mist in the background. If it comes to it. But yeah, that looks a lot better right there already. There. Just want to make sure that we've got that worked in pretty good there. There's gonna be like twigs and branches and stuff coming up over top of that section. So, hi, what's up? Yes, you're cute. Hi. Somebody cleaned your face up a little bit. You don't let me do it anymore. Oh, 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 oh. I almost fell over again. How about you have a seat so you don't fall over? Huh? Get the eye crunchies off her face. Oh no, they're still there. It's just the way the light was hitting it. Hi. We're not going yet, guy. It's not time yet, number one. For normal time, you're even early, but we're going after dinner today. Do you need a snacky? Maybe Daddy can get you a snacky. another bit of fluffy stuff. Alright, so where do I want to take this? Do I want to come up here? Yeah. Let's come on up here. And kind of finish working on this section. Okay. So we will get this part. I think maybe we'll go to here and then... Wait, is there pink on the top? There is a little bit of pink on the top, but you know what? The pink feels like it's kind of sitting on top of this a little bit. So I think I'll just kind of get this close to the line. So this is, or maybe that's supposed to be the pink line. I could make this all of that shade of purple to here. Maybe. I can adjust these lines or what I have going to them. Right? We're the ones that put them in there. They were just kind of meant to be guidelines. Alright. So I am going to grab a cone here. And we're gonna pop that into the hot air balloon. Yeah, just give me 1 second because I'm gonna have to blow it out in a second. As soon as it looks like it's established. I had a habit of blowing them out too soon. And I'm like, why isn't it doing the thing? I'll look over and I'll be like, wait, it never did the thing. It looks like it's doing the thing now. Okay. We'll get this in here. Did you remember my bread?
Yeah.
Alright, so we've got that. You can kind of see the circly shape come into life here. Kinda. Okay, so now going to have my finger in the way here for a minute. So that I can try to get this shape worked out here. Hopefully. Hopefully. Alright, so we're gonna just kind of work around this line here. So I'm grabbing the needle and I'm taking it and I'm just kind of like pushing it up against the fluff until I can see the line. And then I'm stabbing it in once I get just behind it. You don't want to stab in and then move because then you're going to stab your needle. You kind of just want to be on the surface a little bit. And of course, if you get a little too over the line, you can come in at an angle and just kind of gently nudge your fluff over into the position that you're looking for. Okay, yeah, so because I think that I shorted myself on the amount of that purple, I'm gonna do the purple to this line, the gray purple here, and I'm gonna establish a little bit of pink up against this edge. Because the pink's not as deep, I don't think, over here on this top side. Okay. We've got that fairly thick in that spot. So I probably shouldn't have to add too much more of this color right there. Okay, so that pink's gonna be kind of close in that spot there, but that's all right. We'll work that out. Hi. What's the matter? No, we're not going yet. No, you are way too early. No. It's not time yet. You can sit there being cute all you want. I have no food. We don't have food up here. This is what we've got. We've got fluff. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for smelling it and sticking your Your doggy knows all over it. Thank you. What's the matter? What's the matter, old guy? Hi. Hi, old man. Hi, old man. What's up? Hi. I don't know what you want. Well, I know one of the things that you want, but you can't have it yet. No, it's not time yet. I promise. I'm watching the time. It's not time yet. Hi. Go lay down. I will tell you when it's time. Daddy wants to go after dinner today. That's a conversation you and Daddy have to have. It's fluff. It's not food. Yeah, it's yarn. It's yarn, buddy. It's art supplies. I need to pop that up off of there. I don't know what to do for you. Because you can't have what you want right now. Because we're not going right now. Even if we do go this afternoon early, it's still too early. Your clock is wrong. It's not time to go yet. It's not. I promise. And if you're hungry, you should have eaten your breakfast. But you chose not to. What are you doing? You're just gonna be stuck sitting there staring at me the whole time, aren't you? I certainly hope you don't get it in your head to do this when we're doing the stream later at night. Demanding that I go to bed, because that's not gonna happen. We're gonna have a new routine soon. And you're gonna be mad about it. And that's just how it's gonna be. And there's nothing I can do to change that. But pretty soon it's gonna be too hot to go to places that you want to go to on your little feet. Because at your age, we'd never get you to wear protective booties that would allow that to happen. Why don't you go take a nappy? Why don't you go chill with Snuffles? Snuffles is just chilling. Huh? You don't want to go chill with Snuffles? You guys can't see him. He's sitting on the floor next to me. Staring into the depths of my soul. Trying to get me to give in. And grant him what he wants. Or what I think he wants. There's two possible things he could want right now. At this very moment. Well, maybe three. But it's not dinner time yet. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. The other more pressing matter is a WALK at the place with trails on it. And it's a half an hour too early for that, for when we do go in the afternoon. But sometimes we go after dinner. And the other thing would be food, but he has dry food down. He decided that breakfast was not as important as going to see the mother-in-law. And he doesn't always eat in the morning either. So Snuffles ended up eating her and his breakfast. We're on this side. Okay. So, yeah, I will say, even in this thicker spot, I mean, the thicker spot definitely looks better, but it could look a little bit better. So I'm beginning to think it's just the way this, I mean, that definitely needs to be filled in. I don't know if that's coming up or not, but I had the reference photo up on my screen, so it's blocking one of my camera views. Okay. So we are just gonna kind of establish a slightly wobbly line here. Oh, see, I didn't think that was lit enough. It gave up already. It glowed and then I have this little like torchy guy. Alright, let's try that. Sometimes it seems like the cones can be a little stubborn to light. Sometimes. But that might be true for any cone, because I know the red cedar cones that I used to get that didn't, they made me a little stuffy, I guess because it was a tree, but it didn't necessarily give me a migraine, but those suckers I usually had to light a candle, like a tea light, and then hold it in the tea light flame to get it to fully catch and keep lit. those guys just didn't want to necessarily stay lit. Alrighty, so let me see if I can get this a little bit tighter for this end. Am I in frame? Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily have to hang off this edge because, you know, the frame is going to be sitting on top. Excuse me. But, I'm just trying to make sure that I was good and attached there. Okay. We can get this popped into here. Okay. So we're slowly getting there. Ever so slowly. See, this in here just doesn't quite feel like it is fully attached. Like it still feels a little extra fuzzy. In this spot. And that could just be how thick it is. But I just want to make sure. Right, that feels a little more solid. Alright, yeah, that feels a little better. Okay. Alright, well, I do think we are going to pause there for today because we're at a good pause point, I feel like. So, thank everybody for popping in and checking things out today. Don't forget to follow the social links down below. Those will take you to the Ko-fi, the Blue Sky, and the YouTube channels. Or channel. Again, I apologize for interruptions. They'll probably keep happening until we swap to the new schedule. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day and migraine permitting, I will see everybody tomorrow for Planet Zoo. So until next time, everybody, have a good one.